Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Online Business Launchpad podcast. I'm delighted to have Kim Fernandez with me today. Kim works with Me3 and Marketing Entourage, and I looked up her title, and it's what they call an experience consultant. Now, the first time I met Kim was when I'd engaged Marketing Entourage to help us with some work that I would call marketing troubleshooting. And we went through this great exercise where they helped my team and myself figure out where the gaps were in our marketing approach. And so it's interesting to me that Kim calls herself an experience consultant, and I might ask her to explain that a little bit more in our talk today. But once we had done this exercise where they helped us do marketing troubleshooting, after that, Kim came on board to help us set up our Online Business Launchpad YouTube channel from scratch. And that's been a really fun thing to work with her on. In fact, it's been such a great experience that I wanted her to share with you some of the things she does to make sure that our new channel keeps growing as well as it has already. So welcome, Kim, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Trudy. It's great to be here.
You know, as I've sort of said before, when you and I just started working together, we wanted to be able to set up a YouTube channel where we could provide how-to videos for people on how to do some of the very basic beginning stuff that you need to do to get your platform set up and solid. And also, you know, some of the things that you have to think about from a mindset perspective. So when we came to you and just said, hey, you know, and you said, how can we help? We said, well, we want to start up a YouTube channel. And I already had started up a YouTube channel myself a long time ago, but I'd never done anything with it. But I wanted to set up one specifically for the online business sort of launchpad side of things. So as you've done that, it's been really, really cool watching the learning journey and watching the numbers go up, because I track the numbers on a weekly basis. And I think that's really important. So if you're listening to this and you are doing anything either on social media or from a marketing perspective, you should be paying attention to the numbers so that you can go back and see what's working and what's not. So do you want to just share with our listeners some of the things that you've tried and found to be quite successful in helping us build our numbers? And some of what we've done has been trial and error, but that is the way you succeed as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. You actually try stuff, you see what works, and you do more of what works. So I'll be quiet now, and then Kim, I'll hand over to you and just let you talk to our listeners and just tell them a little bit about what to do when you're starting a YouTube channel from scratch for your business.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Rudy. That was actually quite an intro, but I was just thinking while you were saying that sort of trial and error, that's kind of a nice segue in terms of what we were just saying before about hospitality, how I sort of was trialing and erroring sort of my way around the operation side of things. And I thought, marketing and sort of digital is the place I want to be. So definitely, I think with YouTube, there's, a market for people that want educational or entertainment based videos. And what we were really trying to do was using content we already had basically to see what would work. So I guess I've got a few tips on where to sort of start and how to sort of look at YouTube as sort of a channel. So first tip is just to get started. You kind of don't know what you don't know, but in a way, for your business, review the content you sort of have and see how it might work for you. Whether that's video content, you might have blogs, you might have informative social posts. How can we sort of turn that content into video and use it to sort of reach a new audience? Every business is different. YouTube might not be for you, but you don't really know that yet. You've kind of got to test it. You've kind of got to, give it a go. We've had a hospitality based client who, in this lockdown, she's had to try a few different things because she's only offering takeaway now. So she's popping out videos, not on YouTube at the moment, but on Instagram of, her pizza specials, nights in the week, and, how to make them at home. She's now baking bread on the weekends. So she's, showing people how she's actually baking bread, but not in the commercial oven, in her oven at home. So just things like that, thinking how you can tweak what you already do. I guess with YouTube as well, because it's sort of a new channel that you might be trying, there's no real expectation of what things are and how things will work. So just seeing what you've already got and how it performs is really good to try. Another friend of mine, actually, he's used this time in lockdown. He plays games a lot. So even just thinking about what he was doing, and he's actually quite good, he's then put the videos on YouTube as sort of how-tos, and it's kind of exploded. So now he's got sort of a streaming channel separate to that, just on these gaming videos. So it's just thinking about what you already do well and how you can sort of push that out and reach a different audience. I guess the second tip from that is to tell your community about it. So you've already got a network of people around your business that already know and love what you do. So share it with them. They're the ones that already support you. So they're going to be easy subscribers and followers to, get for your channel, because they already believe in you. They already know that you're doing a good job. Share your account with them once you sort of start out, whether that's, via social or via email, however you normally reach them. Incorporate it into your regular communication schedule with them. So maybe you have a business newsletter that goes out each month. Maybe you could highlight your latest upload or video, or, maybe you do Facebook Lives every now and then. You could talk about jumping on the YouTube channel from there. And then what you can do once your community is aware of this channel, you can send them specific content that might be relative to them. So just say, for Online Business Liftoff, we've got videos on some of the tools that we use during the program and how to get set up. So we could just send them refreshers if we know that they need help setting up some of the content, or they need to use this platform in a certain way. So it's just thinking about how you can engage your community to sort of follow you and build those numbers up in the beginning. I think tip number 3 is really liking and following your wider community as well. So not just the customers and clients that you serve, but also thinking about, who are my suppliers? Who are my partners? Are there any other people that I'm affiliated with that will really, help us build, I guess, the following on this channel? However you regularly communicate them, just ask them to help you out, whether it's a call, whether it's an email, say, hey, I've just set up this new YouTube channel. In the beginning, it's very common to get a lot of passive follows from people that and that's okay. Like you said, it's a sort of a numbers game. You want to see if this channel is sort of working for you, but you never know what might come of it. Maybe one of your suppliers wants to feature in a video. Maybe they want to do some kind of collaboration or some promo around it. It's great to sort of look at how you can engage your wider network to help you really build out this channel. You can even take advantage by asking them, what they would do if they don't have a YouTube channel themselves. Ask them, hey, I'm just setting this up. What do you think we should do? What do you think we should promote? So it's including your network into that sort of that content build as well. That will really sort of help you at this stage. And I think for the 4th tip is to really, once you sort of, had a look at getting started and the content you have, take some time to sort of brainstorm what to create. I was actually just listening to one of your earlier podcasts, Rudy, before on, how to get more customers to your business. And you were talking about, taking some time and setting some time aside to really think about what you're doing in your business. And I think that's definitely important when you're thinking about content as well. It can be overwhelming looking at different channels and thinking about, but I'm doing this on Facebook, and I'm doing this on my website, and I'm doing this on email. So just think about what you already have and what you're producing on those channels, and whether that can turn into video. Like I said before, maybe it's LinkedIn articles that you're writing, and you could turn that into a short 1 or 2 minute video just to give, viewers sort of a quick snapshot of what that article is about. Or you could think about a blog piece that you've written when that's sort of a case study on your business. And while it may be really good written content, could it be a testimonial that you could have on YouTube to sort of bring people bring new viewers to your site? So thinking about the actual content and the purpose behind it as well is really, really key. Like I was saying before, it could be education, which we've got a lot of that on our channel. It could be entertainment, like some of the examples I was giving about the hospitality business before. It's, how to make pizza at home on, a cold and rainy winter's night, although it's pretty nice today. But, thinking about those things, maybe it's even setting a challenge, maybe comparing products, thinking about the purpose of those videos and what you really want to achieve for your viewers. And I guess moving on to tip 5, that's really thinking about how your viewers see you is really important as well. So when you've sort of set up an account on YouTube, you have what's called a channel homepage. And there's something called a channel trailer as well. So that's a short, sharp video of basically what your channel is about, who you sort of serve, and what value you're really bringing to your customers. So I definitely look to make a short video about your business and what you do. Even talk about how often you're posting new content, because what new viewers will see on your channel is that channel trailer. They'll see that first when they click on it. And then they'll see a spread of all the videos that you have. So you may have a recent uploads playlist. You may create playlists on other topics of content that you do, like we have. Returning subscribers will see sort of a different homepage. But again, this is sort of where the playlists come into view, and thinking about grouping that content and brainstorming what you're really going to push out, because that channel homepage is almost like a sort of a website page in a way, where it's sort of a snapshot of sort of all the different videos you have. So you really want to make sure that that's sort of nice and clean, organized, and really tells the viewer, okay, this is what we do. I'm going to teach them about X, Y, and Z. So I guess the channel homepage in a way is something to think about once you've got a few videos up there, maybe, 5 to 10 videos, and just thinking about the look and feel of what that's really like. Once you've sort of looked at the channel homepage, I guess tip number 6 is really thinking about this scary term called SEO, but it's not that scary. It's just about really optimizing your videos for your audience. So thinking about this from the beginning really helps. It means it's not such a daunting task later on to come back to, but thinking of things like, so firstly, naming your video. Just say you've made a video about, let's just go back to the hospitality example. You're making a video about bread. If you're unsure how to name your video, use Google. Google's, I guess, one of the preferred search engines, but also they very much, as much as they're ranking their own content, it's there to sort of help you. So if you're searching your video title, just say, making a video called How to Make Bread. If you're on a Google search and you're typing in that field, if you scroll down to the bottom of the Google page, there's something called searches related to. And I think I showed you this recently, Trudy, where it actually populates different search terms of other people looking for this keyword or this key phrase, how to make bread. So looking at how other people are searching for what video you're going to create, you'll have an idea of, the keywords they're using, the language they're using, and that will really help structure what your video will be called and eventually rank better over time. So instead of my video being called How to Bake Bread, for example, it could be How to Bake Sourdough Bread at Home, because that might be what people are searching for. So it's really about finding, I guess, the right title a little bit once you sort of create that video, which you can do. You can use something called Google Search Console as well, but that's a little bit more tricky. So just use Google Search to begin with. It's nice and easy. It's there to help you. In your title, avoid punctuation if you can, because be mindful that when people are using, any search engine really, they're just typing in what they want to look for. They're not typing in with, hyphens or colons or question marks. So they just need to know what they need to know. So keep the keyword simple, and make sure those keywords are in your title. So for example, I was just saying, making sourdough bread at home, my keyword would probably be sourdough bread at home, because I want to show people how to do it in the easiest form possible. People are at home nowadays that might not want to see videos on baking bread in a commercial kitchen. So that, baked bread is quite open. So, really nailing down on your keyword and what it could be is really important as well. So really, when you're naming your video, that's sort of the first step. And then thinking about those keywords after, put it in your file names, put it in your video name. When you upload the video, put it in your thumbnails if you have one, because Google and YouTube, they like to rank these sort of things. So that's sort of the background to SEO, if you will.
You want to explain to our listeners what a thumbnail is?
Yeah, so a thumbnail is the little opening to your video. It's a little square image or rectangle image that sort of sits on top of your video. So when you're sort of in YouTube, instead of seeing the videos play, you'll see just a snapshot or a picture of what the video will be about. So if your thumbnail has those keywords in the title when it's uploaded, as well as your video, Google's already knowing, okay, this video is about, making sourdough, and it's able to rank not only the name of my video, but the video itself and the little picture or the thumbnail that goes with it. So that's sort of, I guess, an overview of SEO. And to dive a little bit deeper, just think about your descriptions. So there's a section underneath your video where you'll be able to tell your viewers what your video is about. So again, the keywords are important, but you don't want to sort of, what's the term here? Keyword stuff. You don't want to put your keyword in every second sentence. You want to make sure that you're using, like phrases or synonyms. So I might be using, baking or making bread or cooking bread at home, or, do it yourself, or something similar to what my video is talking about. So I want to use similar phrases to explain, what I'm sort of doing. And in that description, what's also good practice is to break down your video into steps. So while your video may be, 2 minutes long and maybe 10 minutes long, really break down your video into 5 or 6 key sections if you can, and list the steps in the description, because people that are clicking to open those descriptions really want to know what your video is about. They want to get a quick overview of, hey, can this video help me? So listing out the steps, especially if it's educational content, is really good practice. YouTube also has chapters now, so you can actually gate your content and make sure that those steps match each YouTube chapter as well, which is really cool. Also adding hashtags and snippets to sort of your videos is really important. Snippets about your business, just adding those links at sort of the bottom of the description and hashtags sort of here as well is sort of really key.
Any quick tips about hashtags, like how many to use, or should they match your keywords, or?
Yeah, so definitely have at least one of your keywords in the hashtags if you can. You can have a few. I'd recommend having 3 main hashtags in the description, because those hashtags will actually appear on your video when your video comes up in YouTube. But what you can do if you've got more hashtags, or if you want to add some, I guess, longer phrase hashtags, you can do that in the tag section of your YouTube video as well. So separate to the description, you've got sort of a tag section where you can have longer phrase keywords. So like I mentioned earlier, you can search Google on how your video phrase comes up. Those other searches may be tags that you want to use for your video. It's always helpful to add captions to your videos too, if you can. There's a lot of free online tools that do this, but really, focusing on that description, making sure your keywords are all throughout, both your tags, hashtags, the video title is sort of really key. So that's sort of a quick start to SEO. And there's obviously a lot more you can do there, but I think looking at that in the beginning, just on the few videos you're sort of producing, will really help, I guess, build out a bigger audience. Because, the first few tips I've sort of said is to, talk amongst your community and share it with your community. But these little SEO tips will help you reach that wider audience that you're actually looking for. So people that are actually searching for your video names and your keywords and whatnot. And then I think lastly, tip 7, make sure you're sort of connecting with your community. If people are liking, commenting, say thank you, follow them back. If they have a business channel or a personal channel, that's okay. It really shows that you sort of value their input. And they're more likely to see your videos appear, on their suggested videos down the track. Plus, after you, generated some of your own video content to begin with, you can even comment on your own videos and, ask the community what they'd really like to see. That's a good way to sort of open the conversation for YouTube, because in the beginning, it can sort of be sort of a one-way conversation where you're sort of just posting out video content to sort of test and see what works. But, once you've got a few videos in there, it's okay to sort of comment it up and open the forum. You can even add, a 10 or 15 second snippet to the end of your videos where you encourage people to like and subscribe, or even tell users, what would you like to see? It's a good way to encourage them to either, post a comment back, or, send you, I guess, examples of what they would like to see in another way. So definitely. So I hope those 7 tips really help you get started, but there's definitely a lot more that you can do in the long run. But I think if you're sort of, just to sort of recap, just getting started, thinking about your community, telling them about it, brainstorming what you want to create, thinking about your channel homepage and how you want that to look, dip into SEO and just sort of get started with it. And then just make sure you're connecting with the community. I think definitely good places to begin with.
Yeah, no, I think that's really fantastic, Kim. I think I'm coming back to one of the things I said earlier on is that it's really important to follow your numbers. And one of the things we do, as I said earlier, we track on a weekly basis how we're going with our viewers and what people are saying and doing with the videos. And so being able to go into YouTube Studio, look at the analytics and, you know, click on the analytics link, and then just seeing, you know, how long are people watching? What are they watching? What's the thing that they were most interested in? You know, which video was the most popular? I mean, it's been fascinating for me because our most popular video didn't start out our most popular video, but for some reason, all of a sudden it took off. And then once it's gotten legs, you know, it by far and away outstrips the others in terms of numbers. And having said this, I don't want to make it sound like that we've got huge numbers and stuff. We're still early on in this journey ourselves. I think we've been going for going on 4 months now.
Yep.
In terms of our YouTube channel, but you manage the YouTube channel for Marketing Entourage as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, so being able to build on the knowledge that you have for the work that you've done for other people, and then using it for us, even though we're still we're only in toddler land in some respects when it comes to building out a massive YouTube channel, we can already see evidence that people are getting value from what they're seeing, that they're finding it useful, they are coming back and they're watching. And we're getting people watching from all over the world, which is really fascinating to me. You look and sort of see where the stats are and see what's happening. And that's kind of interesting. And over time, we will build up more data so that we can start to see get a more in-depth look of our viewers. But for us, it's really the most important thing is that it's adding value.